Alright, so let's take a look at Uber and break this down for you. So whenever I do charting, go on Webull, go on the 5-year, or go on the max at first. Just zoom out, take a look at what it looks like. Alright, we're going to find patterns, we're going to find areas of resistance, and you're going to start marking them out of patterns that have been clearly rejection points. The first one that we can see was all the way back in 2019 around this $47 range. Now let's start to see if we can find some other areas where there was resistance. This area is resistance. You can see, look how thin these wicks are from $55 all the way up to $64. This means when you see a red candle like this, I need to make videos on this, that means it opens here at 59 and closed all the way down at 47. It's the opposite when you look at a green candle. It means it opened at 34 and closed at 52. So it pushed up. You have all these buyers filling up this box, pushing it up higher. When you have this little indecision, these little thin wicks, this means that there are no buyers up here. Sellers pushed straight down to $48. Now, let's start marking off the highs here. We're just looking for points on a long-term trend. Where are the resistance levels? You had one back here at 47. You had one over here at $50 to $65 in this area. Now you can clearly see there is a big resistance level here at $80 up to 87. There were no buyers pretty much from 77 all the way up to 87 in this candle. Now you're starting to get pushed up forward. You have buyers coming in. That's the max chart we're looking at. Now let's go to the 5-year chart. We'll zoom out a little bit. Let's start to draw the trends now. You're going to start, and they have to be touching. So you're going to draw out the trend lines now. Now we're going to take a quick look here. We're going to draw this one in white. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's got to line up pretty decently. You can see that's lining up here. So we're lining up here, and you're seeing touches. When you have touches, you want them to line up on the long-term chart. So I'm looking at a 5-year chart here. You have a touch here at 25, a touch here at 30, a touch right here in this zone, another touch right here, and another touch right here. What do you notice about this $60 level? What you notice is, look at this. You had previous resistance right here around this zone, around $63 to $65. Right in this area right here. But what do you notice if you extend this out? Let's extend this out now. Look how this area of resistance became support right in this area. Now it's not perfect, but you can see that that's where buyers started to come in here. So you had resistance at the $60. It obviously sold off to $20, ran all the way back up. And then boom, look at that. Once it blasted through this level, it retested it. That's the break and retest. That's huge in trading. So it comes up $53, $55, goes up to 63, and now it goes all the way back down to, look at this range, $57. But where does it correlate? It correlates with this area right here, all this consolidation, showing that it's ready for a move higher. Comes up, retests this level, bounces all the way up to 82, which is new highs. You look at the overall chart, there's nothing over here. Now it starts to pull back. We know that $60 is a support range. It's not only right here that we see it, but we also see it right in this range too. Right there, boom. And then also right in this zone, boom. So you can see that this $60 range to 57 is a very strong support range. It also supports the theory that you have a bounce here, a bounce here, a bounce there, a bounce there, a bounce there as well. If you are looking to get into Uber, now you know that $60 is going to have support. Buyers are gonna come in if it does pull back. Now you have to ask yourself, how realistic is it for it to pull back $80 all the way to 60? You're going to need a massive catalyst there. I mean, that's a 23% pullback. So what do? You look for pullbacks that are going to pull back to this long-term trend line, which is around $67 to about $69, $70. That's an 8% pullback. That's more realistic. Now you start looking at the 6-month chart. And now you have your zones of support. So you saw, we looked at the long term, we saw it over here, $53 to $55, around this range, $58 to $60. Now you get closer, you can start to get a realistic view. If it pulls back, where is it going to have support now? So we look at the 6-month chart. You can see now, this is really starting to get on the, you're getting closer now to the ranges. You have a support here. And the reason I say is because you have another touch here. Look how they line up perfectly with each other. You see that? Now, the way to confirm this, how I looked at this bottom here at 68, this bottom here at 68, notice how you had consolidation right in this range. Notice this is consolidating right at $68, $70. Because look, it lines up perfectly with this area right here. Take a look at this. You had support here, bounced up, fell through, and look, it's starting to have resistance right where it broke through. So this range of $68 where it had resistance, it's resisting right here. Boom, retest, fails. Boom, retest, fails. Boom, retest, fails. And then look, it tries it again, does a fake out at 71 back down, and then rips back up to 71. And once it breaks that, it goes off to the moon from 70 up all the way up to $76. That's how you start to map out the levels.